All right, so the next part, we're going to go in and do these little detail drawings, right? So we're going to go in and put the studs in and the ties and things like that and sort of finish this off. This one doesn't really need any detail because it's pretty simple, but I'll start with the wall. So if I go to the Revit file, I want to go to, I'll close up my 2.1 and I'll go to my 2.2. And you should have these sort of showing up here. And what we want to do is insert and update these detail views. So if I expand the A2.2 assembly, I can get to those detail views. And later on, we'll talk about how to create these and make them work. But right now, we're just going to go and do it. So I want to go to the wall assembly. So if I double click on that, you'll see it brings up that wall assembly view. And when you get to the scale, which the scale is set to 1.5 inches, which is a detail level scale, what we want to do is go in and insert some 2D things, because you don't really model the to 1.5 inch detail, because then you'd be modeling like for the rest of your life. And so you have just pulled out this one little detail, and you can add 2D items to this to create the wall detail. And if we look at the A2 assemblies, the wall assembly that I picked over here, this has these studs at 16 inches on center on each side, and then they alternate. So we're going to bring these studs in and put in the studs. Okay, so I'll go back to my wall assembly over here. And to do that, you go to the Annotate tab, and you can go to the component, and you go to Detail Component, right? And if you go to Detail Component, you'll have a series of components in here that you can choose from that should be preloaded. So I'm going to go down and pick the nominal cut lumber section, a 2x4, and it's going to bring out this little 2x4 lumber section. And if you hit the space bar, it will rotate it for you. So I'm just going to rotate it and pick here and left click, and it's going to place that guy in. I'm going to hit escape a couple of times to stop the placement. Then I'm going to pick this, go to copy, and pick a point. So I'm going to left click and drag down, and I'm going to type in 16 inches, right? And it's going to move that guy 16 inches down. So it's a little bit out of the view. So I'm just going to pick that one and hold down the control key and pick that one. And I'm going to use my arrow keys to kind of nudge them up to where they're kind of both in the view, right? So you may have to do some adjustments to do that. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to left click out here. Then I'm going to pick this guy, and I'm going to copy it down 8 inches, 8 inches, and hit escape a couple of times to stop the copy command. Then I'm going to pick this and go to the move and move it from here to there, right? So now I've got that wall assembly, those little details in there. And then if we go back to the PDF, you can see I've come in and put some dimensions and the wall tags on there. So, and then we have some material tags just for fun. So we're going to go dimension this guy and put the tags in. So if I go back to Revit, the tagging should be pretty straightforward. So if you go to Annotate again and go to the tag by category, you can do that pretty simply. So I'll just come out here and do the wall 1, and then we have the wall 2, right? So we've got those tags in. And then if we go to the material tag, it's set to material tag mark. So these guys don't have that set, but if you come to the material tag description, should be able to pick that. It'll actually go through and tag those based on the description in the in the material. So if it doesn't have a description yet, it'll give you a little question mark, right? So don't worry about it, just tag it if it doesn't have a description yet. If it does, great. right? So go ahead and tag these guys. Tag this guy over here. And if you want to add the description, you can go to the material, or you can do a slow double click here and say 5/8 inch chipboard. If I click outside of that, you'll see that all of these will update, right? And if it doesn't sit correctly, you can kind of pick it and move it out, right? With this little move thing. And again, my little thing is off. So you can kind of move it up to where it gets straight, right? And so you have those guys tagged. Maybe these guys get moved out of the wall, right? Where they're out here. The alignment of these things is a little difficult because they're center aligned. So, so you can do it both ways. So sometimes you can't get them to line up exactly. This is the metal furring, right? So I'll just say metal spell furring, right? And click there and move that guy kind of out to here. And then maybe this one we can update to the to wall tile. And then and maybe move that back kind of over here where it's more aligned with these guys. So you can work on the alignment. It's a little difficult to get them all done. So then when I come back, we'll do the dimensioning.